everybody, and welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway as we get ready for the 9th chase race of Season 5 of the Mobil1 Cup Series. Getting ready now to set the stage for the Mobil1 Cup Series chase for the championship in the season finale next week at Zenjoltis with the running of the NOS Energy Drink 350 here at Talladega Superspeedway. Getting ready for 29 laps of exciting racing. We had an unbelievable Truck Series race which brought about quite an interesting setup heading into the season finale next week. We'll have to see if the same can be said here today. On the pole for today's race is the current rookie points leader, and that is Jordan Davis, trying to continue to keep his points lead so he can claim himself as Season 5 Mobil1 Cup Series Rookie of the Year. He's trying to still pick up another win this season, as well as he is a former winner this season, and it's failing me right now as to when that win came, but he has won a race previously this season alongside of him. Driver still trying to find victory lane this season. That is Felix Graves in the 14. We'll see if maybe starting on the front row could be a little bit of good luck coming the way of either one of those drivers. Charles Jackson going to line up in the 3rd position. He's a former winner this season. He won back, I believe, was at Atlanta. Jackson is currently 15th in the points, 3rd out of the non-chasers. And then you've got Cole Daly lined up on the outside of row number 2. Cole Daly currently 34th in points, but keep in mind, too, if he could pick up a victory or some good experience, he is battling for the Snickers Cup Series Championship over in that 17 car, so he could get some very well-needed experience here at the Superspeedway that he could try to apply to battle for the championship over in the Snickers Cup. Then the highest running chaser that I can see here is actually the points leader. That is going to be Adam Chambers, rolling off from the 6th position. Today he comes in with a 12-point advantage over Sean Galligan, and then it's a total of 39 points back to Trent Dunham. So right now it looks like the only driver that's within striking distance of the 21 car would be Sean Galligan, and Galligan is starting way in the back of the pack. I can't even see that powder blue Aspen Dental Toyota Camry out of the Larry Gunselman Motorsports team. Anyway, we're getting ready to go under the green flag here momentarily. The command to fire the engines has been given. It's going to be a 29-lap event, as I have said. And one thing we know about Talladega all the time, it seems to play into the favor of the underdog and always seems to bring about an exciting and surprising finish. Will that be the case today? We're going to find out. So here's your starting lineup for today's race. Daytona, whenever they come down to the start-finish line is right in the middle of the tri-oval, which would be just about there. This is Talladega, though. The start-finish line is further down the front straightaway. These drivers are going to try and use that extra few hundred feet to maybe make a move for the win on whoever they are battling. As the green flag is out, and Cole Daly immediately jumps to the high side. So did Justin Williams, so did Jacob Lawler. So we take a look at them coming into turn 1 with our cool little gopher cam there. Jordan Davis with that inside advantage. He's got them all lined up behind him. Jackson, Chris, Kyle, Riley Ogle. That's going to help create a very good draft and get Jordan Davis to the front. But Charles Jackson now wants to take a turn at the front just like that. Here he comes down to the bottom with Chris Kyle. Chris Kyle not going to leave him out to dry, though. He's going to move to the inside 3 wide. Jordan Davis may try and move a slide job here on Charles Jackson. Can't do it, though. Jackson is there, and so Chris Kyle is going to 3 wide, take the lead Riley Ogle right behind him. Richard Johnson in tow as well. Let's see who's going to lead the first lap of this race. Looks like it's going to be Chris Kyle. They're going to go 4 wide per second. Richard Johnson now going to go to the extreme low line. Here they come, drag racing to the line. Who's going to lead the first lap of this race? It was between Chris Kyle and Richard Johnson, and the leader was indeed Chris Kyle by a splitter. Very first lap of this race was in a photo finish. Will the last lap of this race be in a photo finish? Is Austin Ogo now going to be going for the top spot? Ogo just basically now just trying to pick up his first Mobil1 Cup Series win of his career, as he is basically out of the running for the championship now. Right at this moment, he is a total of 154 points out of the points lead. There's no way possible for him to be able to make up that much ground in only 2 races. And right behind him, maybe the same could be said for Guido Savotas, who, according to our current point standings list, he has a total of 117 points back. So those two, I think, just now, just out there battling for points and pride and wins, because I don't see a championship in their future, at least not here in Season 5 as far as Savotas goes. Here comes Jake Baskinger, who has really been having a lot of momentum go his way in the last few weeks. He ended up recently picking up a win. Oh, there's a spin back there. Oh, there's a big wreck. The big one has struck. James Qualls is around. I couldn't even tell who else was there. Oh, there's a follow-up wreck. Oh, Chambers. Chambers got airborne. He's up on top of Felix Graves and Jacob Lawler. Whoa, look out. That was James Silverfox narrowly missing Chambers, but Chambers' day may be over. Cole Daly involved. Richard Johnson is in it. Finn Guy is in it. Oh, the pulser, Jordan Davison. Oh, Chris Kyle just got flipped over. Little help from Trent Dunham and Mark Thomas, and he is barrel rolling. And at the line, who was the leader? Was it Poteet? Yes, it was. Dylan Poteet was the leader under the caution flag for the first time here today at Talladega. Let's see who else was involved in those incidents. Mark Thomas's day is over. Cole Daly, Trent Dunham, what a tough break there. Eric Burton, we know, was involved. That looks like Harui Tashimi sitting on pit road. That is indeed the case. There's Chris Kyle. We know he flipped. Chambers' day is over. The points leader, the pole sitter, Jordan Davis, completely mangled up on the front end. The rookie points leader, Richard Johnson involved. Charles Jackson may have been in it. You know, Jacob Lawler got a piece of it because he had the Adam Chambers car right on top of him. Damage on the front of the James Silverfox machine. He's 4th in points, just ahead of him. James Qualls, we know he got spun around there. And there's Sean Galligan, 2nd in the points. Looks like he got through it okay. I don't know for certain, but I think he did. The driver's going to make pit stops here on this lap. Nope, everybody's going to stay out, so they will not make pit stops here on lap number 4. Let's jump back and take a look at the replay. 2 different wrecks. One coming out of turn number 2, and one heading into turn number 3. Put us under the caution for the first time today, and they involved the points leader. Well, when we have to take a look at a big one star, and there's only one camera angle that really tells the story, and so we're using the helicopter view here. Eric Burton, 5th in points, alongside of James Qualls, and I'm almost wondering if the two of them are going to kind of start leaning on each other. That's usually not a good thing. Let's take a look. Yeah, oh yeah, right there. Burton comes up into James Qualls. Chris Kyle had absolutely nowhere to go. They're all going to squeeze the wall, come back down in front of Jordan Davis, Cole Daly. Michael Norman did a good job getting through that as he got hit in the passenger side door, though. Behind these guys, John McNamara trying to get through. He's going to hit Sean Galligan a little bit there, so Galligan may have gotten a little damage to the right front. Tashimi runs into the back of Jordan Davis. Mark Thomas got clipped and straight up into the hood of Eric Burton. There's Trent Dunham back there. Jeffrey Finguy, James Silverfox all held up. And that was only the first incident. All these guys, there were about 9-10 drivers involved in this. We got to look up ahead now. Something even worse takes place up in turn 3. Now, as this wreck's going on behind him, Jacob Lawler, Felix Graves, they're going to get together and up into the points leader Adam Chambers, who had absolutely nowhere to go. Up and look at the air he gets. Oh, Charles Jackson got clipped. He's going to slam the outside retaining wall. Pretty doggone hard. Richard Johnson was held up behind that. He got a little bit of damage from it. Oh, and then Johnson comes down right in front of Cole Daly in the 2. And Galligan actually spun it around. Galligan was involved in this. So too was John McNamara. Galligan sliding towards the wall. Oh, I don't think he touched it. Wow. Putting on the brakes hardcore. And oh man, look at there. Chambers nearly got hit by James Silverfox. Which I don't think would have made any difference whether Chambers was going to be retiring from this race or not. Look at the smoke just billowing out from underneath that racy Chevrolet. And that's a tough break for Chambers, who had absolutely nothing to do with that wreck. Just an innocent victim involved here in the first caution of the day. And you're probably wondering why these cars are going so slow. We're actually going to continue this replay. I didn't realize that this wreck actually continued on. Remember, these were the drivers that were all involved in that incident on the back straightaway. Well, they're going to take it and play their part here in the turn 3 incident. Tashimi straight into Chambers. Chambers immediately teleports Chris Kyle into the back of Tashimi, up into Jordan Davis. Some hard licks taken right there, and these guys just never slowed down. And watch Chris Kyle comes right back down the racetrack, right in front of Eric Burton, up into Mark Thomas. Trent Dunham runs into the back of the 66, and Chris Kyle going to do a little barrel roll there on the apron of turns 3 and 4. That is a tough break for a lot of these drivers. A lot of them started right up at the front of the field, as I recall, too. Cole Daly, Jordan Davis, Chris Kyle, they all started up, I believe, inside the top 5. And they're all involved here in the first caution of the day. I also looked at the point standings. Out of everybody in the top 5 that got at least some damage or was involved, every single driver in the top 5 in points were involved in one way or another. Adam Chambers has taken his car to pit road. Sean Galligan, we know he got a piece of both John McNamara and spun in turn number 3. Trent Dunham, we just saw him run in the back of Mark Thomas. He's got extensive damage. James Silverfox, he got held up behind that big incident there on the back straightaway and received some damage to the front of his car. And Eric Burton, we saw there as well, get a little piece of the guy's roofing Chevy of Chris Kyle. So every one of the drivers in the top 5 in points, in championship points, was affected by these wrecks in one way or another. Let's go back to green now and see who's going to be able to continue on. We will go back to green flag racing now on lap 8 of 29. This should give us a total of 22 laps to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. Dylan Poteet is out in front, looking for his second win of the season for Penske Racing. Behind him is going to be James McLeod, lined up in second place. Third place is going to be Lily Erickson. Fourth is Jake Baskinger, and fifth will be Jake Rogers, who had a very good Truck Series race as well, so maybe looking to continue on his success. Maybe finally get to victory lane there in that 19 car. Rohit Vidarbu lines up in 6th. 7th place is going to be Wada Sabotas. Justin Williams 8th. 9th place is going to be Dylan Young. And completing the top 10 is Luke Martin. Austin Ogo 11th. 12th place is Wolfgang Mason. 13th is Sean Henley. 14th is Zach Buchanan. 15th place is going to be Leia Walker. 16th, Drew Austin. Kyle Sosnowski is in 17th. The rest of the top 20 are Barney Ward, Joseph Bryant, and Nicole Williams. Going further back, Ralph Mason's 21st. 22nd is Trafen Reed. 23rd is Riley Ogle. 24th is Danny Wells. Sean Galligan going to restart in 25th. 26th place, James Silverfox. 27th is going to be Jeffrey Finguy. John McNamara in 28th. 29th is going to be Michael Norman. Then it's James Qualls 30th. 31st, Jacob Lawler, and Charles Jackson in 32nd place. These are the drivers who have gone back behind the wall after this first and only caution so far today. Richard Johnson, Jordan Davis, the points leader Adam Chambers will retire from this race in the 35th position. Felix Graves has also gone back behind the wall with Chris Kyle. 5th in points, Eric Burton has retired. Cole Daly is out of the race. Trent Dunham, 3rd in the standings. He's out in the 40th position. And then Mark Thomas and Haruki Tashimi have also gone back behind the wall to the garage area. So 3 drivers who came in the top 5 in points have DNF'd from this race, and we haven't even reached the halfway point. Just a prime example of how Talladega can change the face of the game. That's what I was trying to say, and it was hard to say. As the green flag comes back out, Dylan Poteet gets us back underway here on lap number 8. You gotta wonder, with drivers like Trent Dunham and Eric Burton running into problems here, is this going to open up the door for other drivers like Trafen Reed, Ralph Mason, and Kyle Sosnowski 6th through 8th in the points if they can come away with a good run. The driver that I think we're going to have to keep the eye on, though, is Sean Galligan. He could kind of be like Chris Dollerton was in the Truck Series race. Remember, we had a lot of drivers who were chasers in the Truck Series event here come away with good finishes, but due to the fact that Chris Dollerton came away with a second-place finish, it kind of canceled out their good finishes and still did not get them mathematically in the championship picture. Now, for Sean Galligan, his goal is to get up here, finish well. If he can do so, it could end the hopes of Tryfon Reed, Ralph Mason, Kyle Sosnowski, as I said, who could maybe mathematically work their way back into contention for the Mobil1 Cup Series Championship this season at the season finale is in Joltis next week. Can't see Galligan right now. We're going to jump back there in a moment to see where he is. He and James Silverfox, the lone two drivers from the top 5 in points that have been able to continue on. The other 3, Chambers, the points leader, Dunham, and Eric Burton, have all retired from this race. As Guido Savotas is out in front, Justin Williams right behind him. 2 drivers who really have been in good form at certain points of this season, but neither have found victory lane yet. Guido Savotas completely dominated the Mobil1 Cup Series standings heading into the chase. The chase has not been kind to that number 9 team, though. They have not yet gotten to victory lane, and they are currently 10th in the points standings. Justin Williams, on the other hand, has worked his way all the way up to 18th in the points when he was mired all the way down somewhere around the mid-20s for a majority of this season. You see, Sean Galligan has not really made up a lot of ground in that 64 car. There he is, way back here in the second group. Back here with Jeffrey Finguy and James Silverfox, who, oh, wait, there's a spin up in the front straightaway. Oh, everybody's going to try and make it through. Justin Williams was around. Wolfgang Mason, oh, just clipped Sean Galligan, and John McNamara took the big brunt of it. Williams got spun around. There's Mason. Oh, Zach Buchanan is in it. Who else may have gotten affected by this? There's the McNamara machine. He took a hard lick into Wolfgang Mason. Oh, Kyle Sosnowski, 3-time winner this season. He is badly damaged on the GoDaddy.com Chevy. Jake Baskinger may have some damage. I don't know for certain. Oh, wait, slow down. Justin Williams, slow down. Oh, I think he did. Wow. Well. Oh, Dylan Poteet, who led us to our green flag. Rear end damage on the 22. He's just now leaving pit road. Luke Martin is the leader under the caution flag. I'm almost wondering if this was a result of drivers trying to make pit stops. Maybe that's what this incident came out for, because I did see some drivers dive from pit road. Gonna find out in a moment. So we're under the caution flag for the second time today here at Talladega. Now, surprisingly enough, this didn't have anything to do with pit stops. Watch on the inside line, Ralph Mason, Joseph Bryan, just really giving each other no room coming out of turn number 4. Up into Dylan Poteet they go. Wolfgang Mason going to take a big hit there as he gets squeezed in front into the outside retaining wall. There's Rohit Darvu going to get a piece of it. He goes around off the nose of Tryfon Reed. And on the high side there, we'll get to that point in just a moment. There is Nicole Williams held up back there. Couldn't tell which car that was. Zach Buchanan back there as well. And all these drivers are going to slide down towards pit road. Watch there. Darvu slid across the start finish, or not the start finish, but the commitment line. So did Nicole Williams. So did Buchanan. So did Dylan Poteet. So that's why those drivers actually made pit stops, was they had committed themselves to pit road, apparently. We gotta see up here. Oh, Danny Wells went around too. You know that Justin Williams went around. Oh, he went around after contact from Justin Williams. Right there, Jake Baskinger just kind of redirects the 5 back up into the Danny Wells machine. And there's another driver. Where is he? There he is. There's Wolfgang Mason. He's going to get a shove in the back from Sosnowski, and there you see him get into Baskinger. He's going to spin his car around. I thought Galligan was done here. It looked like he was going to come right up into Galligan. He does hit Galligan a little bit, but look at John McNamara. Absolutely nowhere for the 20 car to go. He took a huge, huge lick into that outside retaining wall. Just nailed the back of the 82, and how Galligan got through that, I'm not sure. But he did. And you see those drivers who slid across the commitment line, they're making pit stops here so they can avoid getting a penalty. However, I don't think any of them really were down there at their own free will. I think if you get forced down beyond that commitment line, you really shouldn't have to make a pit stop, but they did it anyway. Caution's out for the second time today. Several drivers involved in this one, and Luke Martin is the current leader. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. More drivers back behind the wall, including the following: Wolfgang Mason, John McNamara. Is that it? That's it. Wolfgang Mason, John McNamara. I thought there were going to be a lot more drivers back behind the wall, but no. Joseph Bryant, Justin Williams, James McLeod, Ralph Mason, Buchanan, Lawler, Sosnowski. All those drivers that got little pieces of it. They are actually going to continue on. Let's give you the full running order if we can. Luke Martin's the leader. Lily Erickson's second. Leah Walker is in third. Fourth is Barney Ward. Fifth, White is Votas. Sixth, Austin Ogo. Seventh is Jake Rogers. And it's Drew Austin, Sean Henley, and Tryfon Reed, the top 10. Dylan Young's 11th. 12th is Jeffrey Finguy. Sean Galligan is now up to 13th place. Then you got Michael Norman 14th, 15th place James Qualls versus the top 20 are Jake Baskinger, Riley Noble, Danny Wells, Charles Jackson, and Rohit Vidar. The rest of the cars that are still on the racetrack are 21st Nicole Williams, 22nd Dylan Pote, 23rd James Silverfox, Jacob Lawler 24th, Kyle Sosnowski 25th, 26th Zach Buchanan, Ralph Mason in 27th, 28th James McLeod, 29th is Justin Williams, and Joseph Bryant is in 30th place. So 30 cars still on the racetrack. After that incident, only 2 drivers retired, so rather surprising there. As the green flag comes back out, we're back underway here on lap 15 of 29. Getting down to the crunch time now, and the drivers got to be starting to think about pit strategy, because we're going to have a total of 15 to go. And quite a number of these drivers have not yet made pit stops. When are they going to have to come down? We know that Dylan Poteet, Rohit Vidarvo, Nicole Williams, they've already made pit stops after they got spun down pit road, so they're completely off the pit sequence from everybody else. That could or could not play into their favor. It'll all depend. As Barney Ward's going to go for the lead now. Barney Ward in the 41 for his second win of the season. As nobody makes any indication of going to pit road this time, as Wise Votas going to look to the inside of Barney Ward now. That's for the lead. Jake Rogers right there behind him. Tryfon Reed in the mix as well. In that 12. Remember, we talked about Kyle Sosnowski, Ralph Mason, and Tryfon Reed, all still with a possible chance of maybe being mathematically eligible for the championship next week. Sosnowski's hit his problems, Ralph Mason the same, but Tryfon Reed has not. Tryfon came in 6th in the points, a total of 63 points back from Adam Chambers. There is a possibility, especially if he could win today, he could put himself back in the title hunt. Coming out of turn 4, Jake Rogers with the lead, but Tryfon Reed going to take a peek to the inside. Rogers going to try and slide in front, can't do it. Tryfon Reed is now there. Drag race to the line, and this time it was where'd I get John? Jake Rogers, I believe, by a splitter on the high side. I have no idea where I was going with the name John. I don't even see a John up here at the front of the field, for heaven's sakes. As Sean Henley's going to take a peek to the inside now. These drivers swapping the lead around quite a bit here. Nobody seems to be able to hold it here at Talladega, which is rather typical. Talladega, a lot of room to be able to make moves, not much room to be able to block. And Sean Henley in the Pfizer Viagra Chevy Camaro is going to come down. He's going to lead a lap here. Henley, of course, keep in mind, he's battling for a championship over in the Snickers Cup Series, trying to become the first ever back-to-back Snickers Cup Series champion in NNSCRA history. as he has actually got himself quite a nice little lead here over the new second place driver, Leia Walker. So maybe, just maybe, for the first time today, we're actually going to see somebody be able to lead a complete full lap. And it could be Sean Henley. Drew Austin right behind him, though. Drew Austin, our winner from Homestead, Miami, ended up having a photo finish in which he picked up his first career NSCRA win. He'd love to be able to go to victory lane again. 23rd in points is where the 44 currently sits, and he's all over the back bumper of Sean Henley. And Henley, I believe, for the first time today, was the first driver to completely lead a lap. He was not even challenged for the lead until now, as Drew Austin now takes a peek down to the bottom, and he will go to the front. Let's keep in mind here, we talked about how Chris Dollerton stopped the advances of drivers being mathematically eligible for the Truck Series Championship by finishing well. Sean Galligan has not exactly been up at the front, but he has kept pretty close tabs here with this front pack, currently running in the 14th position. Looks like he is up to speed. I think he may be a mile per hour or two slower, as he has been involved in two different incidents today, minorly, but has indeed been involved. He got spun around there in turn 3 during our first caution, and then he had a little bit of contact with the Wolfgang Mason machine during our second caution. So he is slightly damaged goods, but he is at the rear end of this pack, maybe just riding around, seeing what unfolds. At this point, according to our live point stage, Sean Galligan is the current new points leader of the Mobil1 Cup Series standings, due to the fact that Adam Chambers has retired from this race in the 35th position, and Galligan came in only 12 points behind Adam Chambers. These drivers putting on a pretty good show here. They've been able to keep it clean and green, but they're racing hard. And there's Michael Norman there in the 3. It's a driver that really needs a good run. Came in this season replacing, not Danica, replacing James King, that's who it was, for the final 10 races of the season, and we haven't really seen the old Michael Norman emerge. Right now he's doing a pretty good job, and oh, there goes Dylan Young and Luke Martin into the wall. And I think they collected Tryphon Reed. And that's going to be the caution that we thought was not going to happen. Oh, they're still wrecking back there. Oh man, James Quall just plastered Rohit Vidaravu. There's Tryphon Reed's machine. Everybody trying to work their way through the carnage. Luke Martin sits there. And the leader at the line that time was Barney Ward in the 41. What a tough break for Luke Martin. Tryphon Reed there. There's Rohit Vidaravu. We know he got nailed by James Qualls. Where's James Qualls' machine? Well, there's the smoke from the incident there in turn 3, but... oh, there's James Qualls. Oh my goodness. That front of that Camaro is completely pushed in. And we are under the caution with only a total of 9 laps to go. So we're going to have a shootout here at the end of this race, I think. Maybe 4 laps. And this caution was not timely for a lot of drivers who were kind of enjoying being in about a 10-11 car pack. Now it's going to bunch everybody back up. And we're going to have to see, too, if any of these drivers are going to have to finally come down pit road. Stick here with the leaders. They're in turn 3 right now. Anybody going to have to come down pit road? To my knowledge, nobody has yet made a pit stop out of these lead cars. And they are not coming. Nobody coming to pit road. I don't know if they can make it this full race on 1 tank of fuel. We're about to find out. First, though, we got to look back at a replay. What puts us under the caution for the 3rd time today here at Talladega. Well, we basically saw this happening quite a bit here, coming down the back straightaway. Dylan Young, Luke Martin just rubbing doors into each other. I don't know what the deal was between those two. But finally, pushing and shoving just came to complete disaster. Up into turn 3 they go. Jake Rogers, he got a little piece of that. Not much, but a little piece of it. Look at Drew Austin just squeaked by the inside of Tryfon Reed, and Lily Erickson nowhere to go. She's just boxed in on that outside retaining wall. Dylan Young, he escaped with fairly minimal damage there, did the 6. Luke Martin, Tryfon Reed not so lucky, both facing the wrong way. Lily Erickson finally clear of those two cars. She was pinned up against the outside retaining wall. And then here come the rest of the drivers trying to avoid these guys. Everybody does so with the exception of Rohit Vidarvu, who, man, just got into the rear there of the 99, and look at him, straight up. Is he going to get the wall? Oh, yes, he is. Oh, man, he lost the brakes. There was no brakes on that car. That car just slid up under its own power right up the racetrack. Vidarvu had no control. I don't think he could even turn the car. He might have lost the power steering, and oh, my goodness. That's the driver's side as well. And that was about 190 miles per hour that he took that hit at from James Qualls. My goodness. James Qualls just clobbering Rohit here, and hard impact even this late in the NOS Energy 350. Oh man, Tryfon Reed, I thought he was going to get a little piece of the rear of the 70, but he got through it. But lots of damaged cars here in the turn 3, turn 4 area. A wreck, and then kind of, you could say, a follow-up wreck that just kind of, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, just kind of ricocheted off of that original wreck and puts under the caution once again. We're going to head back for what could be our final restart of the day. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It will be on laps 26 of 29 when we go back to green, giving us 4 laps to go here today at Talladega Superspeedway. Hopefully, we can race it clean and green to the checkers. They've been able to go under some nice long green flag runs. Hopefully, they'll be able to do it here in the closing stages. But remember, for a lot of these drivers, they're just out there to win, so we may see some racing hotter and heavier than we've seen this entire event so far. On the point is Barney Ward. Leah Walker lines up in second. Third place is Waidos Avotas. Fourth is Sean Henley. And fifth place is going to be Jeffrey Finguy. 4 out of the top 5 here today on this restart have yet to go to victory lane this season. Austin Ogo lines up in 6th. Drew Austin 7th. 8th is Michael Norman. 9th place Jake Rogers. And Sean Galligan, who is currently listed as the new points leader, he is there in the 10th position. Dylan Young runs 11th. 12th Danny Wells. 13th Jake Baskinger. James Silverfox 14th. 15th Nicole Williams. Rest of the top 20 are going to be Lily Erickson, Joseph Bryant, James McLeod, Riley Ogle, and Ralph Mason. The rest of the drivers still on the racetrack are Tryfon Reed, Justin Williams, Jacob Lawler, Dylan Putti, Zach Buchanan, Kyle Sosnowski, and Charles Jackson. 27 cars still on the racetrack. A few drivers did go behind the wall after that incident. They were the following: Luke Martin, Rohit Vidarvu, and James Qualls. So here we go. Green flag getting ready to come back out here as we'll switch to the TV2 and take a look at the flagman waving the green flag for what could be the final time today here at Talladega. 4-lap shootout to decide this race. Green flag is in the air. We're back underway here at Talladega as it's a 2-car breakaway at the front. Barney Ward and Leah Walker, they got away. Waidos Avotas and Sean Henley are going to go side by side for third. Henley trying to get back down that inside line. Looks like he will succeed in doing so. Right in front of Jeffrey Finguy. Now as everybody snakes back into single file, they will start to accordion back up again and make a big pack, I do believe, as Waidos Avotas does a nice slide job there. Trying to go to the inside of Leah Walker and Barney Ward. 3 wide for the lead, and he's going to get there. 3 wide for the top spot. Waidos Avotas going to the front there in that Dodge, and O'Shawn Henley right behind him there, Jeffrey Finguy, and there's some teammates that could work together there. Finguy and Ogo out of Joe Gibbs Racing. Those two are up here at the same time now, and they've got a little bit of an advantage over the rest of these drivers up here in the fact that they are teammates. And again, I had some kind of I don't know, like a covering over my throat. Anyway, Sean Henley now the leader with 3 to go. Look at some of these drivers up here who really would love to get a win here this season and could do it here at Talladega. We said this track plays into the favor of the underdog, or the drivers that are not doing so well in points. Michael Norman is up here. Jeffrey Finguy is there. And Austin Ogo, who's had a dismal chase and is winless this season, he's on the inside line now going for the lead. A few other drivers there. Jake Rogers. He's one driver who could definitely use a shot of momentum. Lily Erickson back there as well. As they come down, there's going to be a total of 2 laps to go. Austin Ogo, the current leader, but here comes Drew Austin down to the bottom. Those 2 rookies going to battle side by side. 2 veterans right behind them. Actually, 4 veterans in Barney Ward, Michael Norman, Wido Savotas, and Sean Henley throw Jake Rogers and Sean Galligan. Yes, I said Sean Galligan into the mix. He is there, working with Jake Rogers. Those 2 are teammates in the Truck Series over at Penske Racing, and they're working together here in the Mobil1 Cup Series event. The 2 of them at our first Truck Series race at Talladega finished 1st and 3rd with working together. And they are working together here in the Mobil1 Cup Series event. So some alliances from other series moving over here to the Mobil1 Cup Series. As the white flag is about to be displayed, and it is Wido Savotas out in front. White flag in the air. 1 to go. Michael Norman lined up there on the inside line with Wido Savotas. Is he possibly planning any kind of a move here? Galligan to the inside now. Jake Rogers 3 wide. Where has Galligan come from? He's now up to 3rd place. Avotas, Norman, Galligan, Baskinger, Jake Rogers. That's the current top 5 as they run. And Michael Norman continues to run behind Wido Savotas. He needs a drafting partner if he's going to make any move on the 9. It could come in the form of Sean Galligan. Here we go. Galligan trying to catch a back bumper of the 3. Can he offer any drafting help? Will Norman make a move? Out of turn 4 for the final time. Michael Norman looking to see if he can make a move on the 9. But the 9 is blocking. He's mirror driving. And Wido Savotas, for the first time this season, finally takes a checkered flag. Wido Savotas wins the NUS Energy Drink 350. Coming into today's race, 3 chasers were winless. They were James Silverfox, Wido Savotas, and Austin Ogo. Avotas, who dominated the Mobil1 Cup Series standings for a majority of the regular season, was unable to get that car to victory lane finally. In the next to last race of the Mobil1 Cup Series, Wido Savotas finally goes to victory lane in his first win of the season. I believe it's his 2nd career Mobil1 Cup Series victory. Wow. And he did a great job of mirror driving. He had a really good restrictor plate driver in Michael Norman right behind him for that entire final lap. But Michael just could not find any room to be able to make that move. And Wido Savotas hangs on for the victory here today. As always, we will show you your official top 10 results. Avotas with his first career, or not his first career, but his first victory of Season 5. Michael Norman going to have to settle for runner-up. Sean Galligan, the new Mobil1 Cup Series points leader, will finish in 3rd place. Talk about a recovery driver. Sean Galligan, what a job he did here today. Unbelievable job of finishing in 3rd place. We'll give him one more lap. He may have been a contender for the win. Jake Baskinger, what a momentum streak he's been on. Another top 5 run as he finishes in 4th. And Lily Erickson, great run for her in the 5th position. I believe she was rookie of the race here today. Jeffrey Finguy going to finish the day in 6th. Jake Rogers will have to settle for 7th. Leia Walker 8th. Barney Ward, who led us to that final restart, will finish 9th. And Sean Henley grabs the final top 10 position. Let's find out what the rest of our chasers ended up finishing today's race. Austin Ogo finished in 11th. James Silverfox, nice recovery for him as well, in 14th position. Nicole Williams finished the day in 15th place. Joseph Bryant was 17th. Ralph Mason finished in 18th. Tryphon Reed was 21st. Kyle Sosnowski in 26th place. And then the rest of these other chasers all finished out of the race with, where are they? Adam Chambers in 35th place. Eric Burton finished 38th. Trent Dunham finished the day in 40th position. Well, no idea what the point stands are going to look like heading into next week, with the exception of the fact that Sean Galligan is going to be the new points leader. Don't know even who is going to still mathematically going to be eligible for the chase for the championship. If you guys want to know exactly who it is based on when we see the standings at the end, if you are a total of 45 points behind Sean Galligan heading in next week, you are still mathematically eligible for the championship. If you're 46 points or more away from the points leader Sean Galligan, you are mathematically ineligible for winning the championship. That's basically how the points go heading into the season finale at Zenjoltis. But speaking of the season finale at Zenjoltis, we still got to set the stage in the Snickers Cup Series to see who is going to battle for the championship over there. So hope you'll be tuning in for the Talladega race weekend coming here from Talladega Superspeedway very soon. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed today's race. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. Congratulations to Wyatt Swotas on finally finding victory lane here in Season 5. Congratulations to Sean Galligan on being the new points leader. It'll be an interesting one heading into the season finale. You've been watching production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.